Hello! In this video, I'm going to go over some useful grammar and vocabulary related to this assignment that we did previously, and some stuff that can really be helpful for writing in general and for this assignment in particular. Okay, so let's start with some useful vocabulary that we can use in this assignment. Okay, the first one is run into. Now in this first picture, we see a girl and she hits a tree. Now the word hit in English is much too general. Could refer to someone hitting someone with their hand or with a stick. But the word run into is much more specific, and it's very perfect for describing exactly what's going on in this picture. This girl runs into a tree. Okay, so the girl was so focused on her cell phone that she ran into a tree. Okay, so yeah. The next grammar I'd like to look at, the next vocabulary I'd like to look at is focus on. To focus on, you can use this with a noun to focus on something, or with a verb to focus on doing something. Okay, so again with the same sentence and the same picture, the girl was so focused on her cell phone that she ran into a tree. So you could use she was looking at her cell phone, but this word to focus on something is particularly suitable to this assignment because it describes that her attention was taken up by her cell phone and she was focused on that. So it's another useful one. Okay, the next one I'd like to look at is playing or doing something on a cell phone. Okay, so I know in Chinese you can say play cell phone, but in English we cannot do that. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's something to keep in mind because I know this is a vocabulary that is often used. You will use it a lot. You will do something or play something on your cell phone. So in this example, we could talk about this girl was A, using Facebook, or B, playing a game on her cell phone, and the boy was listening to music. So we say using cell phone and playing a game. We don't just say play cell phone, you have to say doing something or playing something, okay? So it's incorrect to say play cell phone, it's correct to say play on a cell phone or on my cell phone. Now let's look at some useful grammar points that we can get from this article. The first one I'd like to discuss, and a lot of you, when you hand in your writing, we're not using a and the correctly. Okay, so I just want to touch on this particular grammar point of a versus the. All right, so let's come back to our same sentence. The girl was so focused on her cell phone that she ran into a tree. Okay, so the thing here is that we use a for the first use with a common noun. So the first use of a common noun should be a. So in this case, she ran into a tree. That's the first time we've discussed this tree. So we will say it is a tree, okay? On the second time, we will use the. So the rule number 2 for the is specific. You can use it when there is A, only one of the subject, or B, the reader has been introduced to the noun in question. Let's take a look at that. So the only one, for example, the biggest in the world being the only one. There is only one world. So we will use the world in this case. Another example in English is the hospital or the train station. So now in many places there are more than one hospital, but traditionally there was just one hospital and one train station in the community. So we will use the for those because there's only one, and that's why we do that. The police station, lots of things like that. Okay, so the second point, the reader has been introduced to the noun. So this is coming back to our sentence example. The girl was so focused on her cell phone that she ran into a tree. Okay, first usage is a, and the second time the boy didn't see her hit the tree. Second time we use the because we have already been introduced, the reader has been introduced to this tree, and now we can say the, which is a specific and the reader knows about it. Use the, okay? So I hope that's helpful. The next grammar point I'd like to discuss is starting a sentence with because. I see this all the time, and I want to sort of talk about the correct way to use because, all right? So let's look at an example with the incorrect, the wrong way. The owner of a car was unhappy because so many people use their phones while walking. Okay, this is incorrect. The reason is, this is the format we want to look for. We have A because B, okay? A because B. So let's look at that. So A being the owner of the car was unhappy. And why? Because so many people use their phones while walking. So this because should connect these two ideas, and thus this is the correct way it should be in the same sentence with a comma and part of the same sentence. Don't separate those two ideas. They are together in the same, they're linked together with because, and because should be in the same sentence with them together. All right. Okay, so that was a review of this assignment and some useful vocabulary and grammar, and I hope that was of use to you guys. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video.